Can you believe I blurted out the word flip-flops when Brenda asked me to choose a challenge item? I don't for the life of me know what I was thinking. Welcome to the Just Our Imagination Challenge. My name is Melissa. This is CraftCrumbs. Thank you for joining me. I have 3 DIYs for you today using these 3 challenge items and saving the most challenging for last. This first one is really easy. I start by cutting the placemat in half. I want the border to continue all the way around the piece that I cut off. So in the part that I'm not going to be using, I cut a strip of that border off the bottom. I then cut another slim strip from that same side of the placemat. This is going to help me attach the 2 pieces together. Using Aleene's tacky glue, I'm going to run a bead of glue from edge to edge and then place it over the area where the 2 pieces meet. This will definitely make sure those 2 pieces don't separate. This may not be necessary, but I'm going to use my iron to kind of press everything in place. Flipping it over to what's going to be the front side of our project, I'm going to lay out this heat transfer that I picked up from Temu. Now this placemat is sort of a plasticky silicone. I'm not sure what it's made of, but it's a different kind of material. And I wasn't really sure if I was going to melt this, ironing it. So before I started this project off camera, I tested it in a small area of another placemat. And it turned out just fine. So I'm going to use my iron on the cotton setting, no water or steam, and just take my time and press this onto the placemat. While waiting the approximately 15 seconds for it to cool, I'm going to use my Cricut tool to varnish it down one more time. I want this to hang on the wall and sort of be fluid. To do that, I'm going to punch a hole and add a grommet to the top corner on each side. I've had this mini crocodile in my stash for a good while and have never used it before, so if it looks like I'm struggling a little bit, it's because I have 0 experience with it. I went through a few different grommets and threw them away because they got squished, so after a few tries, I finally got it to work. I'm going to make a hanger now with this velvet ribbon that I picked up in a pack from Hobby Lobby. I like this ribbon to use as a hanger because it's substantial and looks really pretty. The final step for this piece is to add something to the back to give it structure. Otherwise, it will buckle and not hang flat. I have these 1/4-inch wood dowels from my stash. I think I picked them up in a larger pack from Hobby Lobby as well. And I'm going to paint them in an elephant gray to match the placemat. I'll use hot glue to attach them horizontally across the top and the bottom. Depending on the size of your piece, you may have to also add some wood pieces to the sides. This is what the completed piece looks like. If you were to use the entire placemat without cutting it down, it could be the perfect screen to offer privacy in a window where you might need some. But I really like it for this project. Let me know in the comments what you think about my use for the placemat challenge item. I realize there are several videos in the playlist and just want to say thank you for clicking on this one. I have some links in the description box for you, including Brenda and Kathy Joe's channels. Please check them out. You'll also find the entire playlist linked, as well as the video that earned me guest host spot this month. For DIY number 2, we're using tumbling tower blocks and 2 bamboo hoops that I picked up in a pack of 10, I believe, on Amazon. We're going to use a 6 and an 8 inch from the pack. Starting with the 6 inch, I'm going to place it on top of this mini healing pad just to make it a little easier to move when I'm done. I'm going to dab a bead of wood glue on the end of 14 tower blocks. And then I'll place 7 in a row back to back on one side of the hoop, and then another 7 directly across from it. This will leave a substantial gap in between each row. If you're still watching, thank you for still being here. We have a few minutes to go before we get to the crazy flip-flop project. If you're enjoying this video, give it your stamp of approval with a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and leave a kind word in the comments. If you're new and coming over from the playlist, consider subscribing to the channel so you can come back anytime to see fresh ideas for beautiful home decor. And once I'm done with that, I'll pick up that entire board and move this off to the side. Moving on to the 8 inch bamboo hoop, repeat the process, but not leave any gaps this time. It'll take 34 blocks to complete this. I'll set this aside for about 15 minutes to dry. Coming back, I'm going to add in this 6 inch round wood blank from the Dollar Tree. I do my best here to make it level and then push it down as far as I can into the bottom of that circular frame. You'll notice that I'm not adding glue here to hold it in place, and that's because it's simply not needed. It has a firm hold when you push it down in there nice and snug. I'm just measuring to make sure that I have a 1/2 inch all the way around. Moving back to the first hoop, I'm going to add a bead of glue to the ends of each of these tower blocks, and then turn it upside down to adhere it to the center of that round wood blank. Once all of the glue was dry, I took it outside and gave it one coat of spray paint in the color Surf by Crayon. And now I'm going to add in a few of these darker colored tumbling tower blocks that came in the same pack. Adding 5 of these to each side will fill in those gaps, and this gives it such a nice color variation. To complete this DIY, I spend a few minutes dry brushing on white paint and then a little bit of antiquing wax to age it. Here is what it looks like complete. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I love a good catch-all tray. It can really turn a cluttered area into an organized area. And this is just what I was looking for. Let me know in the comments what you think about my use of the Tumbling Tower Block challenge item. After completing this flip-flop DIY, I'm going to show you another product that you can use from the Dollar Tree that'll give you more bang for your buck and is easier to work with. Although these flip-flops came from Walmart, Dollar Tree has a ton of options for you to choose from. Off camera, I had cut out the shape of a vase to use as a template. Using a cutting board under the project, I'm going to cut it out with my hot knife. And just a few tips here. Make sure that hot knife is very hot. I let it heat up for about 10 minutes before I started this. And hold the knife in a way that gives you the most control. Try to avoid using a sawing motion and cut straight down through the line as much as possible. This will eliminate that choppy look that you might get otherwise on the sides of the project. It's okay to go back and touch up areas that might need it. And just in case you were wondering, cutting through this material did not produce any fumes or smoke. But it's never a bad idea to have proper ventilation when using your hot knife. I'm going to decoupage this napkin over 2/3 of the vase. I'm painting that top part black and then wrapping it with jute twine. Turning it over to the back side, I'm going to add 3 of these wood tiles to assist me with mounting it. I'm using my hot glue gun and pushing the point down into the foam to give me a place to put my flower stems. I'm going to glue this to one of the Dollar Tree chalkboards. I picked up this braided jute from Amazon a while back, and I'm going to use this as a hanger. I'm going to coil each end of the rope to make sure that it's just a little bit more attractive and holds better. Here is the completed project. Let me know in the comments what you think about my use for the flip-flop challenge item. If you would like to do something like this, but just really don't like the idea of a flip-flop, pick up a kneeling pad from the Dollar Tree and use that instead. It's the same material. Here is where I completed the same project with different colors using the kneeling pad. Here is a look back at what we created today. Thank you for staying until the end of this video, my friend. If you're in the mood for more Dollar Tree DIYs, here's another video you might enjoy. And until next time, don't forget to craft what you love.